Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Golgari Obliterator. So yeah, everybody and their grandmother's playing this deck and I want to try it out for myself. So back, I guess a few sets ago, we had the Obliterator Fight Club combo. Now we have the Phyrexian Obliterator with the Bushwhack combo, which does work pretty well in an aggressive metagame where a lot of opponents are just playing red creatures. They don't really have any way to kill the Obliterator other than dealing damage to it, and if they do, they sack all of their permanents and lose the game that way. So that's an idea for this deck. And the way we play this deck, of course, is just early game, removal, 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 until we get to turn 3, and we might be able to stick a Sentinel or a Preacher to start threatening our opponents with our board presence, and they will have to remove our creature. And when they do, turn 4 is the Obliterator, where they cannot really fight it. And if we know our opponent probably has removal that they could fight, or they could try to remove on their turn, like a sorcery, speed, some type of removal, we can always just hold up to turn 5 to Obliterator along with a Bushwhack, assuming our opponent has something on board. That's the whole idea of this deck. Now let's talk about the whole deck list. In the early game, on turn 1, we're going to have 4 cut down and 3 duress, so that we can, for aggro decks, we can cut them down to size, and for control decks, we can look at our hand and at least get out their combo piece or control piece. Going to turn 2, we're going to have 2 Anoint with Affliction, 2 Go for the Throw, and 1 Shoot the Sheriff. This is my own mixture of 2 mana removal, because I want to have Exile, I want to have almost unconditional removal, and then so Go for the Throw can remove anything that's not an artifact, and Shoot the Sheriff can kill the other artifacts that are not outlaws. I don't think there are any artifact outlaws out there, so I think we should be able to get what we need to kill. And then another 2 drops we need to play are Mosswood Dreadknight and Caustic Bronco. Mosswood Dreadknight is 4 Mosswood Dreadknight and 1 Caustic Bronco. Mosswood Dreadknight is very good because they always get us card draw, but it's not very good against aggro because, well, we're going to lose 1 life whenever we draw cards, and we don't have that many lives to play with. So when you play Mosswood Dreadknight, it really depends on the matchup. But if there's a card that gives you advantage against either matchup, that's a very good card. That's what Mosswood Dreadknight is. Caustic Bronco, on the other hand, we only run 1 off. It's a good card draw, card advantage engine like Bob. But the problem with Caustic Bronco is that, number 1, you have to attack, so you don't get anything right away. And 2, you would deal damage to yourself in the current metagame where that's very harmful. So we can actually crew the Caustic Bronco or saddle the Caustic Bronco with our Mosswood Dreadknight. So that's where the the advantages comes in. That's why there's 1 of this and 4 of this. Then turn 3, we got 2 Preacher to Schism, and 4 Sentinel off the Nameless City. So we always have creature to tempo our opponent. And we also have 3 Maelstrom Pulse. This is something I really like in Golgari decks, especially when you have a little bit slower of a controller or mid-range shell. Maelstrom Pulse can blow up a lot of things that people are running multiple of. Offsprings all get blown up by Maelstrom Pulse. If our opponent somehow gets 3 up to Beanstalk on board, it sounds crazy, but I've seen so many games like that. We blow them all up. If our opponent has a bunch of Maze Mind Tomes, blow them all up. If our opponent makes tokens, we can blow them all up. So Maelstrom Pulse is very good in the current meta. And of course, we go to turn 4. We got 4 Phyrexian Obliterators that will obliterate most decks that has a mountain in their deck. If they have a mountain, they're probably fearing the Obliterator. And we also have 1 Obstinate Baloth in case we happen to face, what is that called again? The Hopeless Nightmare. Or if our opponents just somehow play a Liliana, right? Obstinate Baloth is a free card. If you don't like Obstinate Baloth, you can cut this out and just play Liliana, or not Liliana, the Shieldred, and it will probably serve similar purposes. It can gain you life when you need to, but Shieldred is not going to be able to fight against a Nightmare deck, a Pixie Nightmare deck. This Obstinate Baloth fights Nightmare deck a lot better because it's a free creature. And in turn 5, we got our Gix Command. Gix Command can not only deal damage, wipe the board, which is what it's supposed to do, right? You destroy each creature with power 2 or less, and make our opponent sacrifice their biggest creature. Usually, both of those modes will kind of wipe everything on board. But we can also put 2+1 and get lifelink on an Obliterator. That's insane. We can also return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So, a lot of good creature cards that get destroyed, you can bring them back for a lot more value. Another 5-drop that we have is the Harvester of Misery. Only 1 in the deck, but this oftentimes is a 5-mana board wipe. Just -2/-2 on the board will kill almost everything. But we can also just discard it for 2 mana and remove 1 creature that way. So it's kind of our 6 2 mana removal. So we got 2 Anoint, 2 Go for the Throw, 1 Shoot the Sheriff, and 1 cycling on, or not cycling, the discard on the Harvester of Misery. And then we have 4 Bushwhacks. Bushwhack can get us the land we need, or also it can also fight the Obliterator that we needed to. Now the land base is the trickiest part. So we have 23 lands in this deck because we do have 4 Bushwhacks, but the lands that we have focus very heavily on Swamp. We want to Bushwhack in the Swamp because Obliterator is 4 black pips. But then we have the green mana from the dual color lands in 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Landward Waste, 4 Restless Cottage, 4 Wastewood Verge, and 2 Underground Mortuary. So the Verge is going to default green, so we can play our green spells easily. And as soon as we get a Swamp out with a Bushwhack, you know, we are able to activate the black side, and we will be able to play our Phyrexian Obliterator very easily. That's why there's no forest in this deck. Sometimes you might be tempted to change this to 4 swamps and 1 forest, just so that you have 1 forest for safety. I don't recommend that. Make it 5 swamps, because you're going to need all 4 black pips on turn 4 if you want to consistently play your Obliterator. That's really all I got. Now let's go into the games. Alright, our opponent is Justus. Justus. Justus, less bags. You go first. Well, we got a slow land and a fast land. A bunch of card draws and answers to potential aggro. They be fast. They be hella fast. Do we go for the throw, the scavenger? I guess since we have that many stuff, that many removal, I need to see what they play next, right? And they have a protection spell. They can't protect it forever. Innkeeper's Talent. That's anointed. Okay, unfortunately I didn't draw a land, so I guess we'll have to go with this. Level up. Still no land, huh? Alright, now we get a land. That means we can answer this. Double counter, you say? You wanna do a double counter on me? Nope. Okay, cool. So we'll get a Caustic Bronco out. We will go from here, I guess. Bronco's probably gonna die. He doesn't do anything. Wow, okay, he's just holding up a bunch of mana with the Innkeeper's Talent. What deck is this? I don't know. I don't know about this. I guess we will... will he exile the Dreadknight? And you know what? Whatever. It's fine now, right? Saddle. Saddle up. I'm not really quite sure what deck I'm fighting against, but... it's gotta be something. Right, we showed him an Obliterator. And then he quits. Cool. I don't know what that game was. 6 lands, nothing, huh? Cool. Alright, our opponent is a Hauling Face. Hauling's Face? We go first. We got an Obliterator and some removal in hand, so... let's see if that's good enough. From one island. Do it. Close enough. Immediately, no more aggro. I take that back. That is an aggro deck. It's an aggro deck that I can't even fight because it's a nesting bot. But hey, you know, we got Go for the Throw. We got Maelstrom Pulse. They might get their speed on. Novice Inspector. Did we even kill the Novice Inspector here? It's kind of a waste. I think we do it anyways, right? Because what am I doing next turn? Maelstrom Pulsing the bot? Yeah, it's a Convoke deck. Let's take out their chance to Convoke. Geek's Command, you say? Well, I don't want to Maelstrom Pulse the bot, because then it would just come back. I also don't want to just blow up the clue. That feels kind of dumb. Well, I guess how are they going to fight an Obliterator? With a Shelter? Another nesting box? And another Inspector? I mean, it's definitely a Shelter by Ghost coming, right? That's probably the only way that they can beat us. So, if there's only one way they can beat us, they're going to have that way. They're going to have their way with us. Oh man, that feels bad. Feels bad to say. Feels bad to happen. They can't attack. They cannot attack with an Obliterator on board, so definitely Shelter. They can case it, but then it'll take 5, so... Resolute Reinforcement. I suppose. I get a Mosswood Dreadknight. Well, what do I want to do here? I think they want to just charge everything at us. So... Does Bushwhack do anything? Does Maelstrom Pulse do anything? These are all 1/1s, right? They're not really that good, so... Let's put the trampling creature out. And now we have protection against Shelter by Ghosts. Technically. War Leader's Call. That's actually good for us. If he wants to just turn cards sideways. If he doesn't want to turn cards sideways, do we want to kill one of his creatures? Just to make it harder for him. You know what? Why not? I'm not using that Go for the Throw. Oh, there's an Anoint. So I do want to... there's 2 clues there. I do want to take out the War Leader's Call with the Maelstrom Pulse at some point. But I don't think today is the point. Today is the point. Right now is the point. Also, not drawing the 5th land here. I can Bushwhack for a land, but then I can't instigate a fight. Right? I can instigate a fight and make him sack 2 permanents. But he just got clue tokens to sack, so that's not really worth it either. I can destroy all the clue tokens, and then I'll fight the Resolute Reinforcement. You can just sack the nesting bots. So that's not it either. So in fact, we'll just do nothing. He definitely doesn't want to play... Okay. Another Resolute... I was going to say, he definitely doesn't want to Convoke. Maybe he'll try to kill me this way. Alright, he's got his speed going. Gleeful Demolition. It's going to be bad, huh? There's a whole board of stuff. Gonna have to take 3. Yeah, I got too greedy not drawing that land. We'll anoint one of them. I think I will just get a land this time. Now, I could Maelstrom Pulse the goblins. Would that be worth it? Maelstrom Pulse does take out 3 goblins, but then I will die to the War Leader's Call if he has more creatures to play, right? Whereas then if I played a Preacher, I know Preacher will die to Gix Command, so I think Maelstrom Pulse is the right play. Now, what do I Maelstrom Pulse? That's the better question. I think I Maelstrom Pulse the War Leader's Call. That takes the most damage off the board. So if he wants to rush me, he can't. And next turn we can Gix command him. Holding back the Obliterator that many turns was not the smart play. Now I was looking at my graveyard thinking what's going on. Maybe he'll convoke here. Sanguine Evangelist. Okay. He's still trying to go big. But he cannot go big because of what I have next. Cool. This is fun for me. So let's get down Lifelink and then destroy each creature with power 2 or less. I don't think I need a block, right? This is gaining 7 life, so there you go. I'm going back to 20. He's got 2 creatures on board. I think I'm safe. Plays another nesting bot. Plays a recruiter. Yeah, you can charge at me. There's not a lot of damage. Good game. Now get the F out. Haha, aggros. Alright, our opponent is the Grabble. Please don't grabble me. We go first. Preacher, Bushwhack. Alright, let's. If I can survive to that point, I think we'll be good. Going first means that surviving might be doable. See how red they are, though. Okay, green. Okay, never mind. Different kind of battle that we're gonna have to fight here, but we have 4 mana with 2 preachers. We might be able to do it. Roots deck are really good, but luckily for us, they're not on point yet. Maybe they're mana screwed. I mean, you can only hope. No, doesn't look like it. Does not look like they're mana screwed. So we get our preacher going, and then we'll see what happens then. Gonna go up the beanstalk? Gonna go up the beanstalk. This attack gives me both things, so that's good. He didn't ping himself to avoid giving me a 1/1. Caustic Bronco. I doubt he'll block here, right? Oh, he does block. Interesting. Discards Harvester of Misery. I too can discard Harvester of Misery. Now we play our Bronco. If I draw another land, I can start fighting the... Well, the Obliterator fighting is good and all, but it's not really anything to fight. Okay. Mill a card. I doubt he wants that card in his graveyard. I can cut this down, but he already has 2 cards in his graveyard. Not sure if I want him to have more cards in his graveyard. So we'll Preacher. And then we'll try to draw a card. It is a land. It's good. Let's get a tempo on board. And we can wait till he hits a big creature, right? If he hits a big creature here, oh, he's going to get it. But if he makes me discard 2 cards, I'm going to get it. So that's kind of the trick. Okay, he does hit a creature, so he can play a big creature for 3 mana reduction. Now he plays another Overwhelming Remorse. That's the 3rd one. Shuffler is fine. Okay, he plays a big creature. He's gonna regret that. Wait, first we GG him. Then we Obliterator. Then we fight. How about you sack 5 permanents? Yep, that's what I thought. GG. Yeah, that wasn't a Roots, that was the Beanstalk Golgari deck, the Gravestock deck. But, oh well. Once they have gotten rid of all their lands, they can't really fight through the rest. Alright, our opponent is... Keishi! Kaishi? I don't know. He's Ki and he's Shi, and we got a Bushwhack, but our opponent going first. Maybe we'll shoot the Sheriffs. Ow. Oh, that land was very aggressive. Do I need a 4th land here? Maybe I'll hold back the Bushwhack because I have a lot of lands, right? It's kind of tricky. Being able to play this land might help. I'm going to need 4 lands for Obliterator. And I don't think I'll have enough time to whack bushes. Whack bushes? They're red. Well, I guess since they're red, right, I probably need to be able to whack bushes. Oh. Did I let them pump? No, they got green. They got protection spells. Higher Claw. Oh, it's gonna be hasty on us. We're gonna take 3. I mean, it's not fun to take 3, right? But it's probably the least bad thing that could have happened that turn, so I'll take it. And it's not that easy to get over a Preacher. It is Death Touch. And it's also 4 damage, or no, 4 toughness. Screaming Nemesis. This means I can't gain life, right? I kind of do need to gain life. Do I? Against this deck? I do, but I also don't really have time, so maybe it is just this. Also not fighting the Nemesis, so I'm gonna die. Rage. Cool. All the damage in the world, huh? We're down to 8, and we're now not gonna be able to gain any more life at this point. So we're gonna go down to 7. And yeah, the Obliterator is gonna have to carry us. Without it, we don't really have a chance, and no life gain at all, so... Oh, boy. Oh, down to 6. And we also go down to 5 with the higher claw attacks. All patch recruit. Okay. What do we do here? We fight the higher claw. Right, we fight the higher claw because it deals damage whenever it attacks. But it only sacks 2 permanents. Whereas in a fight the Paw Patch, he has to sack... Well, this only sacks 1 permanent. If I fight the Paw Patch, he sacks 2 permanents. He got a bunch of lands he can sack. I don't think this matters too much. It's kind of just a removal. Gonna sack a land. I don't think you have any issue sacking land. Now we go down to 5 because of the king land. And I also cannot attack. What's his last creature? Any creature will do, right? So, like, it's not a creature? Now that is extra surprising. Well, I can't draw cards with the Mosswood Dreadknight anymore because that would take me too low. It's probably a Lightning Strike there. Don't think I attack with the Obliterator. I need the toughness to block. Go down to 4! Alright. We're very close to dead. There's 8 damage. 8 damage trample. I don't think he can block. He can block the Dreadknight, I guess. I don't think he's gonna block the Dreadknight. That would be a bad play. Yeah. Alright, draw all the Obliterators. So he has to kill me this turn or he dies. We got him! We have 4 life with a Screaming Nemesis counter. Or emblem, whatever it's called. Ah, boy, that was on the edge. Alright, our opponent is the Monkey Lucen? Monkelsen? I don't know what it says. Anyways, 2-lander. I just need to draw a 3rd land. Green-white, alright. We're finally facing the, whatchamacallit. The Overlord decks. The Overlord deck, this deck? I don't know. Kind of ±0 on. Of course, they go first, so I can't stop the Beanstalk. And I'll play a tap land. I don't think he's going to do anything on turn 3 other than play his Overlord. Okay. So we'll stop the Overlord from happening. Well, we don't stop the Overlord from happening, but we stop the Beanstalk from happening. No free card draw for them. Gotta do that first before anything else. And then the Overlord, not as bad. Do we Preacher? Or do we Sentinel? I think Sentinel is better because I can use the map. There's a land. Now I can Harvester to kill these 2/1s. It's something. Avatar. They got Binding? Binding costs a lot right now because you only got 2 basic land types. So instead of 6, it costs 4. Alright, we take some damage. Against this deck, you know, obviously you don't want to take that much damage because of Xur. But since he named Avatar, he doesn't have Xur in his hand. Well, that's a lot of mana for no reason. But okay. Just hardcasted. Let's wipe his whole board and still put a threat on. This is a sorcery speed, so I can't kill in response. I kill is up to Beanstalk. Seize from Slumber again. Well, good thing I killed the up to Beanstalk, because he is seizing from every slumber possible. Let's play a Preacher. Have 2 mana up to kill the Overlord at the end of turn. Did they have another Seize from... Did they just have Seize from Slumber from hand? Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Hardcast. Now he gets his everywhere. Okay, let's duress him. What do you have? There's a Binding and 2 Xur, huh? Well, we can't have those 2 Xurs hanging around there. So I attack, he blocks. I don't want that to happen. Let's kill that too. Okay. Draw 2, discard 2. Good little draw 2 here. It's gonna play Xur? I doubt it. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. And I can't stop the 2 Overlords, so or 2 Xurs. I might be able to stop one of the Overlord, but not both. Alright? One, two, three, 1, 2. I can't actually play both either. So I guess we hold one back. If the Overlord attacks, we can block. Take out the flyer. Yep. We knew Xur was coming. Is the Overlord attacking? Cool. Can I get a deadly cover-up? Oh, come on! Alright. Okay. That seems like a fair matchup. I can kill this Xur. But how do I kill the next Xur? Alright, this Preacher can fight that Xur at least. So if he plays a Xur, I don't think playing a Xur here is a good idea, but I guess it's not a bad idea either. It's just kind of push. And his Overlord can just trade with the Preacher. He gets a land. And then we'll see who's better at card draw. Okay, our opponent's better at card draw here. That much is obvious. What am I even gonna exile here that matters? I don't know. Up to beans. Well, okay, if I get like a binding. No, what am I saying? If I get a deadly cover-up, which I didn't even put in this deck, right? I don't remember if I had 1 or 0. Anyways, don't think it matters. He's just gonna top deck like kind of best enchantment and blow us out. Here comes the Overlord of Mistmore. Haha! Called it. Yeah, this is what happens, right? Whenever we get into a top decking situation, I'm gonna draw a land and our opponent's gonna draw their best card in the deck. It don't matter. None of this matters. I can cut this down, and then Overlord of Mistmore will get us with its attack. Still, it's better to kill the Xur than not killing the Xur. Yes. It is now 7-7. I mean, if he has interaction for this too, then it is what it is. Feels like he does. He doesn't get lost. Okay. Well, then we're just gonna solo block. Obliterator is interesting, right? Can I even play the Obliterator? I can't. Not with the Dreadknight. Oh boy, I lose his card draw if I don't do it. But if I play the Obliterator, won't he just attack with these 1/1s? Like, guess I'm gonna use the map. Okay. Nope. I don't really need to pump the Obliterator out of range. Okay. I'll attack. Because I can gain the life, and if he blocks, I still gain the life, and I take a 2/1 out. I doubt he's going to block here. Yep. Actually, did not draw a single basic land. We take 8. So we're dead next turn. Actually, well, sort of dead next turn, right? We can gain 2 life with the Restless Cottage. What is his last card? Okay, never mind. Maelstrom Pulse. Will that do it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can attack, but then I won't be able to gain the life. I could Maelstrom Pulse. There's 15 on board, right? I can Maelstrom Pulse these, and then block the 3/3s. I can block 3 3/3s, or I can block 7/7 and 2 3/3s, and then a 9 gets us. No, that's not it. That's not it. GG. Alright, our opponent is the Shamalcom. I wonder if he's going to play Pirates. We go first. I guess we'll find out right away. Opponent, are you playing Pirates? Let me duress you. Not playing Pirates. Is playing Pixie. With a temporary lockdown. How much do I care about the lockdown? I don't really get anything locked down, so no bricks for you. Probably want to bounce the lands back and forth, right? Alright, we get a Mortuary. Bushwhack. It's, you know, it's a removal. Oh, okay, you're gonna Pixie that. Yeah, makes sense. Wait, let's play this. Just gonna start hitting him with the Sentinel. The temporary lockdown is not very good against our deck. They can take our map tokens, but we generate 1 a turn. Wishclaw Talisman. Now that part is annoying. He's not going to activate it right here. Yeah, I remember this deck very fondly. I was doing very well with that deck, but now that I'm on the receiving end, less fun. Anoint. Do I really care about this Anoint? I don't want to draw that next turn. He's gonna Wishclaw something and try to fight me on value. So, nope, not Anoint. Well, if he Wishclaw something and... does he have enough mana? Wishclaw for an exile ability and exile my Sentinel and still have a land? Yeah, I think he has enough. It's gonna be difficult. Is he just gonna play the lockdown on the Wishclaw? He is just gonna play the lockdown on the Wishclaw, which allows me to deal more damage to him. I wonder what he wished for though. Does he have like a war wipe in that deck? Obby? Obby is here. Since Obby is here, we're gonna take off our defenses and see if he wants to go all in on a creature or something. Maybe he plays Beza. He's definitely gonna Pixie here, right? Momentum Breaker. Oh, that's annoying. So I had to sack something. Guess I sacked the Sentinel since the Harvester has more damage. If they just got 2 removal, we're so screwed. Play Fire Bricks. Well, not necessarily 2 removal, but definitely enough removals to kind of screw us over. I'm gonna play this land anyways. Right now, I could get a Restless Majigger. Maelstrom Pulse is a good card. Obliterator's Trample, so I think I'll keep that. It's gonna Pixie the Momentum Breaker. No, it's gonna Pixie the Lockdown, okay. Why? Huh. Oh, okay? Well, Thoughtseize Bug if I ever seen one. But it just give me a Wishclaw Talisman, I can get anything I want. Is there anything I can do to deal more damage to him? Oh, yeah, Gix Command. Isn't that lethal? You just gave me the card I needed. So, let's see. 2. And why don't you sack your highest creature? Yeah, that was weird. He gave me the lethal. I'll take it. I thought it was gonna temporary lockdown. Okay, so here's what he should have done if our opponent, you know, knew how to play that deck. And I know how to play this deck. I play it so much. So let me talk about it. So what he should have done is he should have Wishclaw for a Pixie, and then he could have played the temporary lockdown, lock everything down, right? Then use the Pixie that he Wishclaw to play it again, or to bounce the lockdown again. Once the lockdown gets bounced, he gets to gain 2 life. He gets a Momentum Breaker to make me sack. He gets to draw a card, and he gets a Wishclaw Talisman back on his side. So that's what he should have done instead of this dumb play that definitely lost him the game. GG. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you see all those obliterating games, how does this deck feel? I understand why a lot of people like this deck, because every time I face a mono red, which is very often, or a Boros, or a Gruul, or any sort of aggro deck, I'm always very happy that I have an Obliterator in my deck, or in my hand, ready to just blow them out of the water. Obliterator definitely stomps any deck that hopes to just deal damage, right? If our opponent's not playing interaction, not playing control, they're going to have a bad time fighting through the Obliterator. Of course, that does happen sometimes. Sometimes they just get over the top. Sometimes they can kill us even through an Obliterator. And then sometimes our draws are horrible, like you saw in that game against the Overlord deck, where they top deck the best Overlord in their deck, and then we top deck 3 lands in a row or something. But, you know, those kind of games do happen. But this deck is very fun to play. And I would say that at the current metagame, with the current aggressive sort of slant, well, I would say current, but every slant, every single standard has had an aggressive slant on Arena, but the current one is even more insane because of all the rats. So I think this deck is way better than what it normally would have been, just because what everyone is doing. But there are a few things that I did think about that maybe I can cut out. So Obstinate Baloth, it never really did anything. It never really showed up either because there's only one off, so it's not too big of a deal. Caustic Bronco might be a little bit better than I thought it would be, so maybe we should have 2 Caustic Broncos and less Obstinate Baloth. We don't really gain that much life. The Gix command really gave us a lot of gain, so that life gain is beautiful. The Preacher and the Sentinel, that's neither here nor there. You can have 3-3 or 2-4 like we have, but you should definitely have at least the same amount of Sentinel as Preachers, if not more, because Sentinel is what's it called? Vigilance. So that means that you can always attack and block at the same time. And as soon as you're able to pressure your opponent's life total, Phyrexian Obliterator becomes way scarier. And the last thing I want to talk about is the cutdown. Cutdown is good, but I don't know if it's great, right? A lot of time it feels it's necessary, but with so many cards doing Offspring and so many cards giving value as soon as they enter, one for one removal nowadays, 1 mana just feels like it's lacking, right? Bushwhack is also 1 for 1 removal because we have Creature, so maybe cut down is not something we need 4 of. Maybe it's time to cut down on the cut downs and then put in maybe more card draw or maybe more interaction and life gain spells that are, you know, later stage in the game. That's how I think about this deck, but that's really all I got for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.